Attempt number 2. I messed up the first one. But I won't mess up this one. Hopefully.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Digging holes! Just when you think Ron DeSantis can't dig a bigger one, he calls in a Panama Canal-sized backhoe and just goes deeper.
Freedom lives here.
Ron, by the way, is the governor of arguably the most insane Mad Hatter state in America. This last week, the Florida Board of Education brought in a new curriculum on African American history, and this new standard says that black people benefited from slavery. Black people benefited from slavery? Okay. You mean like the Jews benefited from concentration camps where they benefit by learning to concentrate? So let's figure out how black people benefited from slavery.
Anyway.
Are you guys ready? Hi, kids! You've been taught so wrong for so long. Slavery was just a jobs program. Think of slavery as a 400-year unpaid apprenticeship with whipping, rape, and genocide. Slaves learned valuable skills like how to be blacksmiths and how to grow crops. They also learned babysitting other children when their own children were sold off to another plantation where those children benefited also. And that's why African-American billionaires far outnumber the white ones. And those are the benefits of slavery.
This message brought to you by the Florida Board of Education and Governor Ron DeSantis.
The Florida Education Association, a statewide teachers union representing about 150,000 teachers, called the new standards a disservice to Florida students and are a big step backward for a state that has required teaching African American studies since
I'm sorry, folks. I just had to do this.
Big step backwards.
I had to do this because
a state that's already in reverse with its gas pedal to the floor
this podcast
took over benefits of slavery.
Is exactly the way I feel about certain things.
Booker T. Washington
to a
benefited from slavery.
And I'm gonna do the whole thing.
Slavery ended in
and I'll upload it Friday, Friday or Saturday. I'm gonna shut the hell up and shake my head for a while
intellectual who also
and laugh and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. I guess it was the Yale plantation. See, Florida says slavery wasn't so bad. Slaves were just getting an inspirational seminar so they could be all they could be. And if they weren't inspired enough, benefits, or they had to focus on learning while in a box in the warm sun.
Benefits.
The sun of the South.
In the hot box.
Oh, the slaves had it so good they learned not to read by being killed for learning to read. Oh, their cup overflows with benefits. Here are a few more benefits of slavery. Half of all slave infants died during their first year, which is twice the death rate of white babies. So, with only half the kids, those benefit classes were kind of empty, and those kids had a lot of time to learn. The average life expectancy for an African slave was 22 years old, compared to white benefactors who lived to 44. Yeah, us crackers live double. Life's hard. It was harder on us.
He's young, he's healthy, he's got a job, and he's got a country called America. It's a wonderful thing to have.
Benefits of slavery. Here are a few more points in Florida's new Black History curriculum. Instruction for students about several race massacres, including the 1921 bombing of Black Wall Street and the 1920 Ocoee Massacre, must include acts of violence perpetrated by African Americans. You know, gotta do both sides. The Ocoee Massacre was an attempt by African Americans to exercise their legal and democratic right to vote.
My back is thick with scars of protesting our freedom.
And guess what? When they did that, 50 of them were murdered for voting. And no one got one of those stickers either. In the bombing of Black Wall Street in 1921, 1,000 black-owned homes were burned to the ground because black people were exceeding too much for these crackers. You know, the benefits of slavery. The sign that commemorates the murder of Emmett Till has had to be replaced 4 times now because racists, I guess, hunt signs. They finally had to put up a bulletproof 500-pound sign. That's where we are in America. People are so racist that 68 years ago, a 14-year-old was murdered, and the woman that accused him recanted her lie in 2017 when she was 82, which is the age Emmett Till would be this week. So those are some of the benefits of slavery and the history of being black in America. Thank God. Now that we know that there are benefits, it's going to be a lot easier to watch Insta when a cop releases a dog on a man, a black man that already has his hand up and already surrendered. Hey, by the way, it's not an attack. It's snuggle time with an attacked dog. You know, benefits.
Not the snuggle time I don't want.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Oh, my God, the benefits of slavery. Oh, when you listen like that, I feel better about all of it. You know, all my white guilt is gone now that I know that slavery had benefits.
Uh-oh, kids. He sounds mad.
You have to undo the collar.
I guess this is what they call a reaction video. As I'm reacting, I'm laughing my ass off. Just because I know what's coming.
You ready? This is Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. We are having technical difficulties with microphone stands. Trust me.
With length and height and...
Give us a couple more years, we'll get good at this. Hi, everybody. I am Christopher Titus. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
She's still messing with the mic.
Because I have a different microphone stand, and I don't like it. I'm Goldilocks.
This one's mine. That's
Goldilocks.
the same. They're the same.
Somebody changed the height of my microphone stand, and
You're the princess.
this bed is lumpy.
You're the princess in the pea. If you
Thank
will, we're
you.
going to go to fairy tales. Hi, everybody. So, as you saw at the Armageddon Update, it is about probably the most insane. Listen, in the last 6 years, you can say a lot of insane shit has happened. But to just come out and go, yeah, by the way, slaves had it so good. They benefited. There's so many good things that came out of being a slave.
I'm not sure if I'm surprised or not surprised to the depth of horrific things that the Republicans say at this point.
It's the bald face, like just the balls to have them to go. I'm going to announce this. I'm running for president.
That's the
and
for you.
man is going to say that slaves benefited.
This is like a joke we would say.
This would be like
10,
a bit.
20 years ago, we would say a joke like this.
This would be a bit we would say about.
To directly quote Ron DeSantis, are you?
Oh, is that him?
What are you doing? Checking Instagram.
What's going on? I want to see if the podcast is already doing well. We're only 3 minutes in. I think it's killing.
Are we doing a live stream? Is that feedback?
He did not technically say slavery was awesome. He said enslaved people, quote, developed skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. They're probably, I like the probably, going to show that some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life.
Yeah, right.
They were forced to be.
I just feel like we have to just be very clear about it. Slaves were beaten, branded, raped, hanged, hunted like dogs, hobbled so that they couldn't run away. Are you fucking kidding me?
Killed for learning to read.
And then those that survived when they were freed, then they were stolen from. They were still beaten and killed after that.
They were not freed. They were.
Yeah, they were so they get 40 acres.
They were freed so that they could not get a job.
Yep.
They could not be part of society, own land, vote. Go to schools with other people. They were free.
That's Florida for you.
And then it continued. After
DeSantis.
You couldn't drink out of the same water fountains.
Just give it up.
Couldn't sit in the same place.
Dig a hole.
Right.
Dig that deeper hole and then pull dirt down on yourself because
a guy
you're done.
what was this, the 90s, trapped behind a pickup truck in Jasper?
Yeah. So his head came off?
Yeah.
So the benefits of slavery, it's a thin thread.
When DeSantis was later asked about these educational standards that Florida is implementing, he said, quote, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Leader. That's a leader. I'm in trouble. Fuck it. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
That's it. Wasn't me.
I saw Shaggy in concert a few weeks ago.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Shaggy was good.
Shaggy was good. You said that. You said it was really good.
He was really good.
Put on a show. He's been doing it a long time. He should understand.
I was surprised.
Do you think it's one of the benefits of slavery that he became a good performer?
No.
I'm just saying, like, it's the dumb. I can't even rap. I laughed so hard, and people must think I'm nuts because when I heard it, I laughed so hard. Like, so here's how bereft and bankrupt the entire Republic. Now, Ron DeSantis is in second place to be the presidential nominee
behind a career criminal.
Behind
a
guy
who's behind a career criminal.
Could be indicted for treason and sedition. And trying to overthrow the government, and that guy's the front runner.
46% of the fucking of our country is for these assholes. Keep going,
so like when you say I'm laughing because it's fucking ridiculous. I can't imagine a time in my life when George Edwards, whatever Edwards. Remember the one guy he cheated? He went on they caught him on a yacht.
Which one?
Edwards? Something Edwards. No, he was running for president.
Oh,
John Edwards.
Right.
Caught him on a yacht with a girl.
That's the guy that...
Done. Over. Done.
Right. Well, old scandals used to mean something.
He took a boat trip.
That's who Jack Smith prosecuted.
Right. That's who Jack is. Yeah, a Democrat. Yeah.
He's a Democrat. And, so Jack Smith is politically motivated.
Done. So he's done.
That doesn't happen anymore. And today the Hunter Biden thing is on loop. Nonstop. It's exhausting because I keep saying we're not one-sided about this. He's not in office. And they keep saying they're going to bring proof that he was tying in with Biden when Biden was vice president in Ukraine in corrupt activities, and they still haven't. And that bullshit started in 2016 with Trump. It's been 7 years, and the witnesses have disappeared and then been federally indicted.
And then they're on the run. That guy's literally on the run.
The other stuff got lost at UPS. I mean,
Tucker Carlson actually sent the most important piece of evidence, the laptop, at UPS, and then on TV he's like, "Well, it got lost." I'm sorry. What you're fucked. When you have an armored truck driving,
isn't there a chain of custody when it comes to evidence transfers?
Wouldn't you just carry it on the plane with you?
Wait a minute, that's a better idea.
Oh, he took a plane ride for this thing.
I'm just saying, he flew home supposedly and put it on, but shipped it to himself UPS.
It's a laptop,
so it's all bullshit.
No. I think it was the documents.
So I want to get to the news in a minute, but what I want to talk about is how bereft they are of any fucking ideas. Here's the thing: if you're going to run for president, right? So Bidenomics is working. It's working.
Boy.
Even J.P. Morgan or one of the big financial firms said, well, we thought there was going to be a recession, but we were wrong. And we have the lowest current inflation.
As you can see, I'm not doing much mowing. Well, I got pretty much all of it done, but yeah.
Current.
I want to do this.
Any industrialized nation.
And I may even try to friggin' upload it today.
Lowest job numbers ever. We have the highest corporate profits ever. All these things don't happen at the same time unless you know what the fuck you're doing. And Biden's got 50 years experience. Okay, so that's happening. So if you were going to run against that guy, wouldn't you come up with your own? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's our economic plan.
No. This is what I don't get. We still have yet to hear your health care plan.
Right. Or your infrastructure plan.
We know you have an empty binder with health care on the outside of it. That you took time to three-hole punch 1,000 blank pages and put in it, but you didn't ever...
They put nothing on them. Yep.
Again, 7 years. It's been 7 years.
Right.
Or your plan for the border. Or
buoys.
With spikes on them.
Is that what?
Right? Aren't there... Let's Google that.
Buoys on with spikes.
With spikes on fucking buoys?
It's supposedly like the DOJ is suing them.
Because they can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just have a bunch of Mexicans hanging off of hooks.
I'm
like it's fucking medieval England.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so baffled by life right now.
Yes, it's baffling.
Today, just getting ready and listening, I'm also probably stressed because we have a 17-year-old dementia-addled, blind, deaf Yorkie now.
That turns out is one of the healthiest dogs that a vet has ever seen.
Is that dog doing AG1 for dogs?
Yeah, they adopted this dog thinking it was gonna. They were gonna give it a good home before it died. They were expecting it to die fast.
And the vet goes,
he's gonna live forever.
Okay, I know you said she started jogging around the house last night. Let me check her heart. I know she's got a murmur. Did the shelter tell you she had a murmur? Any dog this age has a murmur. He listens. And he goes, her heart sounds really good.
He's like, rough,
no
bitch.
murmur.
It's like,
and he goes, hold on. lungs. I'm sure the lungs are. He listens to the lungs. He goes, the lungs sound really good. He goes, hold on, we'll find something. Okay. She's definitely got some muscle deterioration and some arthritis in her back legs, but that's normal. And he goes, this is the equivalent of a 100-year-old woman.
In really good shape.
Swap this with the Republicans against Biden. And it's like, nah, he's doing fine.
Here's the problem, Biden's still riding bikes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Biden is our 100-year-old Yorkie that is doing his job and still hanging in there.
My point was, I was listening to the news when I was getting ready, and all the stations were talking about is this Hunter Biden plea deal hearing today. The plea deal got kicked out for temporarily at least. And
for what, though? Did they say why?
The judge
because the Republicans got a hold of the judge, that's why.
Of how the sentence was going to be carried out. She didn't want to be responsible in the future, whatever the wording was. They said it was weird. They're trying to get to the bottom of it.
She got a call from Sean Hannity, is what you're saying.
I know, but anyway, weird. But I kept thinking, we never had 24-hour news cycles about Ivanka and Jared getting $2 billion from Saudi. That's where Jared was during January 6th, was there before Trump left office getting that check. The Saudi foreign finance minister advised against giving them that money. They still got it. Nobody knows why. Mnuchin got how much? $1 billion. So all these people in Trump's cabinet are popping over.
All you Trump sheep out there need to watch this.
And not only that, they claimed on their taxes $680 million while they were in office.
But it won't matter because you're poorly educated.
He solved the Israeli peace.
But there's the difference between Republicans and Democrats, right? Democrats are like, whatever, it happened, it's in the past, we're going to move on. It doesn't help us now. Here's our health care plan. Here's how we're going to solve poverty.
I don't think that's it. Look at all the big media companies, and Bob Iger is more proof of it. All the big media companies give a shit about their money, and the last thing they want is to be taxed. Corporations do not pay a lot of taxes. They pay 2% on average. So what happens is, if those corporations say, well, here's the news about Jared and Ivanka, that means like, well, fuck it, I'm not voting for Trump again. They want, trust me, the people that own media want our Republicans, period, pretty much overall. Whether it's CNN, MSNBC is a left-leaning station, but I think that's a financial decision. I don't think
they're talking about it all day.
They're talking about Hunter Biden, right? Because I think at the end of it, listen, when you have a media that no longer is governed by any rules, which is what we have currently, and I've said it before, the fairness doctrine got taken away. The media can do whatever the fuck it wants. When Tucker Carlson got brought into court for doing falsehoods, they said he's not a newsman, he's an entertainer. Now,
he's an entertainer.
That actually was fact checked. But what was that wrong?
Hold on.
That old case that everybody said Fox News claimed we're an entertainment company was fact-checked as false. What happened with a case against Tucker Carlson was his attorney said that it was ridiculous that anyone would believe him or think what he was saying was credible.
So why is he on the air?
He's not now, but good.
It's a magazine editorial show.
But it took $867 million paid to get his ass off.
There was something that came out.
But they have no plan. And they keep talking.
I gotta go mall at some point, but not right now.
People don't give a shit. The gay thing, the people that do give a shit are people that you don't want. And what else is going on? The trans thing, the gay.
It's not resonating to their base, so they're going to move on.
Drag queens, the whole thing about, and this whole thing about like.
They said today
slavery.
Comer, how he talked like this on the news. I just want him to move your.
I'll say something when I talk. Here's why. There's no reason to, because you
gotta be a little more.
Is he a marionette?
Like this. So you don't want who you're recording, you're reading your lips. So I don't know who I listen a whole lot.
Can't stand him. The Biden family is going to be proven in history to be the most corrupt criminal family in the history of the United States.
He said that?
Yeah, and this is what I don't.
Like what kind
I feel like my head is exploding.
What kind of cognitive dissonance is that? Joe Biden is like an amazing teacher. Biden
even if he weren't, which we have a lot of evidence that he is a good man and a good family man, and we have him going to church, but he's not the Christian Trump is, who we've never seen go to church or quote a Bible or hold it right side up. But that's the thing. It's like we have crime after crime after crime, indictment after indictment, not just of Trump, but of everyone in his circle, guilty, found guilty by juries of their peers. Manafort, all of them. How many? 13?
And his own attorney general said he's a criminal.
But they're saying Biden's family is the most.
And then Rex Tillerson called him a moron.
Can you guys
They don't
help
care.
me?
And then Kelly,
Please
didn't Kelly come out and say he's the most
truly
evil man. And
Oh,
those are
you
all
guys.
people he hired. Those are all people he hired. And yet these dumb motherfuckers are like, yeah, that's our guy. It's deep state.
You are not going to let me finish this.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm with you. I'm excited.
I have been giving you guys shit about him wanting to sleep with his daughter for a long time, because that's always what both of you lead with, and I've always been like, okay, that's maybe not the leading thing. This just came out, and I don't know if you saw this, but John Kelly said, Miles Taylor just wrote another book. Miles Taylor was in Trump's, what was he? Former chief of staff for Homeland Security. And he wrote Blowback. And now
book number 2.
Book. He saved this info for book 2 3 years later.
Really glad that he really held it off, even though the country's fucking on fire. Good job, dude.
Aide said he talked about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her. Remarks that once led John Kelly, 4-star general, to remark to
pay attention to this.
That first of all, John Kelly reminded the president that Ivanka was his daughter in front of a group of people. Then, after the meeting, John Kelly goes to Miles Taylor and, in visible disgust, says Trump was a very, very evil man.
Yes.
So you guys,
how do you?
You guys were right.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. By the way,
after the 40 pictures we show you, and the things that he says,
and the video on TV, that he said it on TV.
Crimes, but you guys would say that first, and I'm like, yeah, but Ukraine.
Because it's indicative of how much of a shit he is.
The problem is that that's exactly it.
He sat in a meeting. Just be clear. Talked about his daughter's boobs, her ass, and wondered what it would be like to have sex with her.
But even mob guys, even the worst mob guys have honor for their family. Like, this fucking guy doesn't even have that.
It's like if we were all complaining about, like, Ted Bundy didn't pay his taxes, Ted Bundy didn't pay his parking tickets, Ted Bundy was not good to people at supermarkets. And we're like, but he killed 50 women!
Actually, it's the opposite. I feel like the opposite, that you guys were complaining about Ted Bundy's parking tickets when there was so much bigger things to talk about.
I think we were trying, but he
said
it.
You had it backwards.
No, we were just trying to point out that if this guy's this guy, if he'll think about fucking his own daughter, he sure as hell has no problem flipping the country. He sure has no problem.
You don't get worse than this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's low. Yeah, exactly. And how? And those pictures. What about all those pictures when she was a kid?
I just saw 14. The one where she was sitting on his lap.
She's dancing
with his hand is like close to.
She's lap dancing. Yeah, the other one where he's got his hand on her ass.
Yeah,
she's lap dancing.
Oh, where he's hugging her? Was his hand on her butt?
Yes. She's
lower
lap dancing.
Than it should be.
She's lap dancing him at 14.
Yeah.
And he's like this.
Yeah. Yeah. 14. It's yeah.
So we're just saying.
There you go.
I agree with you. When it comes to
you Trump sheep better be paying attention to this.
The reason we were saying is because this is what a low-life scum piece of shit this guy is. Okay, there you go.
And doesn't that?
I think most of the Trump people walk straight out of Deliverance. Squeal like a pig. Squeal like a pig.
Your default sensibility of as a human.
Yes.
Like you don't do this to anybody at any time.
I felt this to me was proof. Those pictures to me were, yes, inappropriate, but I felt like you guys were drawing
Extrapolating.
conclusions.
You'll
that
see me
maybe
shaking my head a lot.
Took at that split second.
This,
Yeah.
John Kelly and Miles Taylor saying, he said, I wonder what it would be like to have sex with her. That's like, you're okay. Oh, he really meant it. I hoped he didn't. Who wants to sleep with their own daughter?
By the way, who's the guy that's hanging out with his buddy?
Ugh.
Have you seen my daughter?
Can you fathom
like,
that?
like if I had a buddy that was like, "Hey man, my daughter's that bitches," I would do that in a second. I would be like, hey, "We're not. Guess what?
I'm calling the police.
I'm getting a baseball bat. I'll be back. If you're here, I'm going to use the baseball bat."
If you're on a TV show and they ask, if you're a father, and they ask you, hey, is it okay
Hey,
what do you think
Titus,
about your daughter being
I got a baseball
naked?
bat
And you
for
don't
you.
immediately throw up. Something is wrong. And
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
well,
I'll
she's
mail it to you.
You know,
Right.
Kenny, my daughter did.
No.
She did a music video. And she makes it's a great song called "Big Enough." Look it up. But there's a moment in the video where she does this thing. She's talking about a guy, and she does this move. And I was like, as a father, I was like, mother.
You're
I wanted to punch
To
something.
be fair, every video. The first video had her ripping a condom open with her teeth.
Oh!
Why do you say these things?
No.
Everybody's got problems, don't they, Titus?
No.
That's the right response.
Okay.
Stop.
Giuliani has conceded that he made false statements about the Georgia election workers. This was another. So truth keeps coming out, but do you notice neither of you guys have heard this?
No.
I only heard it because I clicked on a New York Times article in our email.
Media is on.
I was looking for something, I can't remember what it was.
You know, Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman are suing him. They're suing all of them, Trump, all of them. Giuliani conceded that while acting as a lawyer for Donald J. Trump, he made false statements by asserting that 2 Georgia election workers had mishandled ballots while counting votes in Atlanta during the 2020 election. This concession came in filed court papers on Tuesday night as part of a defamation lawsuit that Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss brought against him. The suit accused him and others of promoting that video. Remember where a mom's handing her a ginger mint thing? They said the video showed that they were manipulating ballots. In a 2-page declaration that he signed, Mr. Giuliani acknowledged that he had in fact made the statements about Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss that led to the filing of the suit, and that the remarks do, quote, carry meaning that is defamatory. He also admitted that his statements were actionable and false, and that he no longer disputed the factual elements of liability.
Called that one too. So
Wait. That's a weird move. Why would he do that and not go to trial?
He insisted that he still has legal defenses in the case remaining.
He's going to...
He says he continues to believe his
He's going to throw Trump under the bus. That's his defense.
Constitutionally protected under the First Amendment.
You keep slandering.
He's going to throw Trump under the
He
bus.
also refuses to acknowledge that those statements then caused the women any damage, which would be the element that they need in a defamation
except for the death threats, and they had to move and quit their job, and quit their jobs, and they couldn't really. So, and that's for the rest of their life, because these rednecks aren't listening to us.
I just thought that was
that's a benefit to them, right?
Rednecks.
It's a benefit. It's a
They're
benefit.
poorly educated. They don't have the ability to listen.
Destroying democracy. Another benefit.
They don't have the ability to make
not so hot.
cognitive decisions.
Nice bringing it around.
I just thought that was a crack, right? Like, you know, there are little cracks.
What's the move, though? Like, what I don't understand is that's weird for him to admit it, because what's the move? That he says he has other defenses, but not in a civil case. You know, maybe.
His defense is he's.
I don't want to do this with a Zippo, but
that's what he
that's all I got right now.
I did it. Yes, it was a lie. Yes, I shouldn't have done it, but I was protected by the First Amendment, and they didn't suffer any damage.
What is death threats worth? I mean, if someone literally, if there's a bunch of dumb rednecks threaten to kill me, and they're there's a damage.
U-Haul rental.
There you go. Or get one of those pods.
That's $100 to set up a new internet.
And then the hassle. That's $14 million right there, just to have fucking Spectrum come over and set up your internet.
All the IKEA trips.
$14 million. There you go.
There's a lot of
boxes. Him and I could add it up right now. I'm at $14 million.
Wow, 14.
Okay, let me ask you: how much would it take for you to let Spectrum come over and until you wait at home and show up whenever they want?
Exactly.
Food. It's our thing. This week, get more of it for less. Save big during our Deals for Days sale.
How much? What's that worth to you? By the way, that's every 7th grade dance just happened. You guys are so stupid.
With the long pause of like, dumb motherfuckers.
We were like, yeah, we got something. She's like, you guys are morons.
I just sat here thinking, this can't be real. And there's 2 of them.
Of course not.
They gathered together and agreed.
And my
wow.
I have to say
that you took me to another 3-hour-long movie.
Oh my God! Well, you keep saying this. You keep saying this that there's more stuff coming out, and you've been right every time. She said that as this gets closer to indictment, more stuff is coming out every day because what they're trying to do is, and I believe this, they're trying to let everybody know that, guys, we're not fucking around. This is literally illegal shit that this guy did.
Yeah. And
now Giuliani admits that he lied about the. By the way, people, tell your friends. Giuliani admitted in court filings. It wasn't something random on a radio station that he was guesting on. He admitted in court papers that he lied about those people messing with ballots. Lied. Flat out lied. It says it's a First Amendment thing to lie about democracy. So please do me a favor. Shut the fuck up when it comes to next time you say there's voter fraud, because there wasn't. 70 court cases.
Bingo!
Giuliani just admitted he lied. Wonder where we got the lie from. I think it's the guy that you guys want to be.
Voter fraud my ass, right?
Again.
What the fuck, man?
Well, it's drip, 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 because that second January 6th indictment is coming out just like the documents indictment, drip, 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 for like 2 weeks. And the latest drip was, that Jack Smith has honed in on a meeting on Valentine's Day, I think it was 2019. So it was right before COVID, the year before. And Trump bragged in a meeting about how secure the next election was because he had put certain things in place.
I heard this recording.
And he did it in front of a bunch of people, and there's a recording where he's saying all of these safeguards they put in place. It's going to be the most secure election we've ever had.
So here's where he fucked himself. So he came out and said because all the Russian stuff, that's why. So he said the 2020 election was going to be super safe because remember we all questioned like, well, Russia helped you. So he was like, there was ballots manipulated, this and that. So he came out before the 20 said, no, we've actually put safeguards in. This is going to be the safest election. And Barr said it too.
And then they hired Chris Krebs.
And then Chris Krebs came in.
But then COVID happened, and the states started making vote by mail more available. And then he started saying corrupt, fraudulent, because historically Democrats vote more by mail.
I also think that's changing because so many old people just stay home.
Poor Republicans.
It's easier for them. And I remember
they felt left out.
Before 2020 was saying, hey, because he kept saying that, and he stop. Because there's some people that aren't, there's older people that aren't, in some of your swing states, aren't going to vote because they don't want to go to the polls. They're too old. They vote by mail.
My grandma used to say, I work the polls. That's who works the polls, by the way.
She said, we were like, oh,
we
see
loved
some
when
more stuff.
She said, I gotta go work the polls.
That's a good graphic right there.
Squeak, squeak.
We need polls.
Go work the polls,
That's a good recruiting posters.
Been dancing, have you?
And
they're not saying, but
you said
guessing maybe.
We were talking before the podcast, and we were talking about it because Sinead O'Connor. Like I was a big Prince. I'm a huge Prince fan, and Prince. Like, I didn't even know that was Prince's song, Nothing Compares to You, and then she sang it, then I found it was Prince's song, and she did crazy stuff. She was mentally ill, and Ray pointed something out. She said, I'm so tired of the media. Why?
Because every time someone dies that they have trashed, including Elvis's daughter, what's her name? Lisa Marie Presley. They all of a sudden, it's just on my way here. Literally, the newscaster called Sinead O'Connor a fragile bird, and said she wasn't a singer. She was a vocalist.
Now she's a fragile bird and a vocalist.
A singer.
Sinead O'Connor killed herself because her daughter did.
But what the fuck are you talking about?
Her daughter had died, and she couldn't.
But you guys trashed
It's a
her
terrible
so
thing when
badly
the
that
parents
she left the public eye.
have a child die before they do.
Mentally ill
It's a
person
bad
who was
thing.
public about
And a lot of them
mental
can't deal
illness.
with it.
Lost her son to suicide.
Lost her son last year to suicide, trashed her so that she left the public eye, and now she's a fragile bird. And they're playing her music, and then all sitting there going, oh, hand on their heart, she will be remembered. Really? Because you guys haven't remembered
You guys
her. In
thrashed
20
her.
years.
She died in
20 fucking years.
she died in the
Every time she did
90s.
something crazy, they thrashed
They
her.
trashed her.
They thrashed her. They thrashed her.
This is a Bob and Annie V take on.
We should do
Yes,
this.
like people that died. That
Because
you,
Bob
5 seconds
would
previously.
try.
Would be like, that's our next sketch. We'll do Bob because you'd be like, can we go to the tape, please? And you'd meet another suit going, yeah.
You just trash them.
Yeah. This crazy
Yeah.
bitch. And like, Bob, opinions change.
She's a lovely
This is next Bob and
angel.
Annie V. Good. Yeah, angel.
This is a Bob and Annie.
Angel sent from heaven. The wings are shining today with the light of Bob.
Annie loses it again.
Donald Trump was a wonderful, giving, charitable man.
He will be held up. They said we were speaking of that. The one thing is every historian that has analyzed his record as president has said he is bottom. He's the 46th worst.
Like
He's
there's
the worst president.
not enough words.
Number
No,
one
there
worst
was-
president of all time.
I thought he was the second. I thought it was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson and him, but depending on who did it, they go back and forth.
Sorry, James Buchanan. Not Andrew Jackson, Andrew Johnson. Holy crap.
Yeah.
James Buchanan was top, Donald Trump second,
Sorry, God.
Andrew Johnson.
And he's probably mad at, I'm number 2. I will be number 1. There was a voting thing. I am by far the worst president ever. How many people have sent a mob to the Capitol to kill the vice president? That's the next level.
And I will be number 1.
Yeah, exactly. All I need
Win
is
bigly.
4 more years. I will be the number 1 worst president.
Oh, we're going worse. Okay, this one, I'm looking at this poll. This poll has Andrew Johnson as the worst.
Oh, man. Yeah.
James Buchanan and Trump tied.
For second. I like that
These
it's
are all
consistent. He's so
different
shitty, there's not
sites.
even an opinion. Nah, all right, we all agree.
He's definitely.
CBS News, U.S. News and World Report, it's all of them.
But here's the thing. I've tried to figure it out, and I wish I could explain to people on the right. So here's what has happened.
Right.
The Republicans do this all the time. They tell everybody when
This video has been brought to you by
except
Louisiana Hot Sauce.
the numbers show that every time Democrats win, the economy gets better. The one thing they're doing is forming a fucking group saying the same shit.
Well,
every
yes,
day.
because it's
They're
easy.
really good at it. Yeah.
It's every page.
Yeah.
Universities,
Yep.
But he's the
political
worst.
groups,
Summit Health Foods,
non-affiliated
please send me some money.
political groups. Here's what makes him insane, though. So he's over on the side with Andrew Johnson, Buchanan, Hoover, Warren Harding, Millard Fillmore. I mean, this is not good company. The other side, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, FDR, Theodore Roosevelt, Eisenhower,
Right.
Truman, Thomas Jefferson, JFK. Who do you think is also on that list?
Obama, Mina.
Obama on every list.
Yeah.
And you know that makes him insane.
Can we point something out here? Hold on a second. They can't ever say that they are the party of Lincoln. Can we just get this historically correct?
No, but
Because-
Obama is.
What?
I'm just saying Obama's in his category now.
Because Lincoln, back then, the word Republican meant liberal, progressive.
Right.
Democrat meant small government, conservative.
Right.
They flipped.
But the Blue Dog
right
Democrats.
after the Civil War.
Well, it was a
there,
little bit after, but yes.
there was a bunch of
U.S.
they
history,
super, like, a
people.
bunch of Elon Musks that were.
It's all U.S.
Demo-
history.
It's hard to flip the name because we're so programmed.
The Blue Dog Democrats came in, and there was definite.
he was
there
totally
was
denouncing.
There was a total, basically, where you a shift, a continental shift in the way the parties saw things.
Well, these Elon Musk guys, they got super rich off the Civil War, and then their politics changed. They started to be more conservative. They wanted less regulations, and they became conservatives, but they kept the name of they were Republicans originally.
Right.
They just kept the name Republicans. And then over the course of like a couple decades, the ideology's changed.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't ever say they were the party of Lincoln because Lincoln was a fucking liberal.
But he also, agreed. And that was fucking 1860.
Yeah, and that's the last thing.
Bingo!
Brag about.
You guys go, yeah, what about Lincoln? Is that what you got?
Oh, and then they say
It's 2023, motherfucker.
Yeah, Lincoln was a liberal.
The KKK was founded by Democrats. You dumb motherfuckers! That's when Democrats were conservatives. You think the KKK would consider themselves Democrats now?
Sometimes our videos are like that, and I always say, "Is this how far back you have to go to have anything?
Yeah.
Is this what you got?"
And that's wrong. And it's wrong.
Yeah, you're incorrect, and this is it. This is you know what I got in my hip pocket? 1800s.
The Washingtonian came out and they polled historians, and historians say he's the 4th worst president of all time.
Who were the top 3?
I mean,
who beat him?
It's going to be Harding, Johnson,
Buchanan.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the other presidents because it wasn't my time to comment, but I sure as hell can comment on Trump. How many other presidents tried to literally overturn the government? Because that's what's coming
well,
out.
This was before, so maybe this will change. But still, it's really interesting how many. I love to see how it's not one site by Rachel Maddow. It's historians coming together and saying worst, second worst. Yeah,
it's right.
It's really
Steve Bannon says, he's number 2.
What made me laugh is I know how jealous he is of Obama and how insecure, and it was this year that Obama moved into the top 10.
But also, Reagan.
Ulysses Grant moved
Reagan's not in the top 10. I mean, and
he was in that one.
They hold Reagan up to be very few, but it's like most of the time he's not in the top 10. I mean, you've got legendary presidents. Yeah. I think if Biden can keep his shit together for 4 more years, he flipped. People don't forget what this guy did, and he does it. He doesn't brag about it. He will during the campaign, I'm sure, but he doesn't. You know why? You've got a president right now with 50 years of experience. I get people can say, yeah, but you know he's doing it. Okay, listen, guys. At 80 years old, if you can get in front of a microphone and still answer questions with any sort of like clearness, and he does, he'll stop. He'll stop. He mumbles over words. He's got a stutter his whole life. He's been working on his whole life. Listen. I don't want to get. If the economy was shit in the bed right now, and inflation was 12%, and unemployment was at 12%, I'd be like, fuck Biden. But you have to look at the facts. And the problem I'm having with all of it is that, and that's what I was going to say before you interrupted me, was that Republicans, especially economic disadvantaged Republicans, the low income crackers, they buy into them blaming Democrats. The problem is,
that's me.
Who busts his ass works, I make more money.
I'm a no-income cracker.
The problem that these guys have is that they think something's being taken away from them, and the Republicans, instead of fixing these rural areas, instead of doing something with policy to bring in a steel plant, no, because you know why? Republicans, if you look at the record, Republicans and Clinton, by the way, I will say, they sent the fucking steel plants to Japan. But our steel plants, all our manufacturing went to fucking China. And these Republicans who own these companies did it.
Yeah.
And then these same people who took all the companies.
Walmart, you go walk into Walmart, everything is made in fucking China.
What are you talking about? You did it. But these people, and those black people are taking your jobs away. Look at all the benefits they got from slavery. You didn't get any benefits of slavery.
Well, it's not entirely their fault because the information that they've been getting, they only have a narrow set of information.
But you said something. You said something today. We were talking about a guy commented on a thing, and he said one of the Armageddon updates, one of our great ones. Guys commented to the fact of, I need you to cite the information in this. Ken goes, you're on a fucking computer.
Yeah.
He goes, why are you asking me? You're actually you found information that you're on a fucking computer. And I was like, that's a valid point.
And then we cited it. That's the citing.
Yeah. We actually put the article. You hit pause because the article
it's
there.
Right there.
Yeah, the information's right there.
And that's just one of the 50 that we just had.
So I agree with you. There is a point that they get a limited amount of information.
Yeah, it's out there.
Is that they start choosing that.
Yes, that's not the only
The
issue.
Trump
When I see
sheep don't
something
want to look
insane,
for
like
it.
when I heard
Or
this
the,
thing about this benefit from slavery,
I'm
I
sorry.
remember my brain flipped. I was like,
They don't know how to look for it because they're
that's impossible.
poorly educated.
10 different articles, and I was like, the Florida Board of Education.
And by the way, if you're poorly educated,
that approved
Trump loves you.
and DeSantis approved that guy, basically backed it up. 150,000, an organization that represents 150,000 teachers.
And believe it or not, when he said that,
Florida a step back. In Florida,
all you
any room to go backwards.
rednecks that think he was giving you a compliment
When the abortion
when he
thing
said
happened,
that
and then right after that,
he loves the
states
poorly
came out,
educated,
Republicans are trying to do away with no fault
'twas not a
divorce,
compliment.
which means I couldn't divorce him for any grounds
No.
other than
When Trump said that, it wasn't a compliment, my friends.
You would be able, no matter what I built in our relationship, if we had 10 years together, we
Yeah.
became millionaires.
the reason why no fault divorce began was to protect typically women
But anyway,
who did all of the work in the home, raised the kids, took care of the home. And so they're trying, I mean, it was like that and a bunch of other things. They're trying to get rid of birth control.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
Because Republicans believe that they've looked at the numbers. We will be a minority-majority country in about 10 years.
Well, that's true.
And so what they're doing is they're trying to stop it because educated white people are the ones that are getting abortions and stuff. So they're trying to make sure that they don't kill the white race. I'm like, motherfuckers, you get that we're the mutts. We're a mutation. White is just a mutation.
I love,
That's
is
all
it
it
Jane
is.
Elliott who
She's
says
awesome.
that we're all descended from black women?
Yeah.
And then she's giving a speech and she says, and yet how many of you consider yourselves to be mixed race? Don't you dare raise your hands. She's like, it's like this great speech, but she goes, you're all just faded black. That's all you are.
Yeah.
But people don't want to hear that. It's like me saying to my stepmother, you think Jesus was white? Like,
Yeah.
white?
Yeah.
She blew a fuse.
Not
Yeah,
it
okay.
wasn't. It was.
She was
Everything went on fire. The picture.
Jesus was in the Middle East, and he's a
Never
white guy.
considered it.
Okay.
Racism
With
is
blue
fine
eyes,
because
yeah.
Jesus was white and had blue eyes and pale, beautiful, milky skin.
in the desert.
Speaking of having pale, beautiful, milky skin,
Oh,
my
What a good one.
it's an ad.
Master of this.
didn't even mean it. You saw me
Just
realize
dropped
it.
in. Good.
I was like, oh. This episode brought to you by One Skin.
I'm wearing it right now.
Are you wearing it?
I have the.
This is me after 4 weeks.
Wow, you look like you're 23.
They.
I look like I'm 51. Still working, just not
They
as.
gave you 7 years.
What?
Not
Titus
bad.
is 4 years younger than me? Or?
We are both using the
No,
eye cream,
5 years
the
younger than
face
me.
cream. I want to get the body cream.
Damn,
By the way,
Titus.
just guys, if you can use the eye cream. Ready?
No, your old man finger. It's weak finger. No.
Yeah.
It's your old man finger.
Your man finger. Yeah.
Old man Johnson, here he comes.
That is your old man finger.
This finger, I told you, because it's weaker. There you go.
By the way, this is how tough I look when I put on the eye cream.
So 4 female PhDs got together. They wanted to find skin products that actually work. That
Why they gotta be female PhDs?
Because they're badasses. That's
Okay,
why.
all right.
And so
Racist.
they tried a bunch
Whoops,
of peptides in a lab, I
blowing
think
my
over
weed
1,000
all over the
different
fucking
peptides,
table.
and they found this one
Get back
peptide,
here.
OS1,
No, you
and
can't do
it's
that. I need to smoke
clinically
you.
validated in the lab to
Oh, wow.
improve skin firmness, fine lines, and overall tone and
I
appearance.
better put it back in
So can I
something.
say? Okay, so we got this stuff.
So I don't blow it everywhere and
I
lose
used
it.
it for 3 days. And the 4th day, I was like, I grabbed my forehead, and I have that. You have that weird I had that little dry patch.
Get back here.
Yeah, it's pretty
And I
weird.
was like, what's going on here?
So what this peptide does, I love things that are backed by science. And I think I told you guys that I was already,
Alright, I gotta go water a rock. I'll be back. Hello, me again. Yeah, I hope all you poorly educated redneck Trump sheep, had that fucked up, but that's great, are paying attention to this. I doubt any of you have even bother to watch Titus because you're poorly educated. But yeah, I hope you watch it because yeah, it shows. It just goes to show how stupid 43% of the polls are right now. Because, yeah, Trump's got what, 43%? Yeah. Yeah, you are definitely a poorly educated redneck Trump sheep. So anyway, let's continue with Mr. Titus and his lovely bombshell Ray and the Highlander.
Completely knee-deep in research about this company, and reading about why and how it works, looking at before and after pictures that people submitted, and then I got this call, and I was like, yes, I want to do this ad, because the before and after pictures are insane. So they found out that this peptide reverses skin's biological age because it reduces the number of zombie cells, dead cells, or also called senescent cells by up to 50%. So you have this buildup of dead cells.
That's right. If you don't reduce them zombie cells, you're going to turn into a zombie.
On your face. Exactly. And so there's that buildup of these dead cells, and so this actually targets it and attacks those dead cells and leaves you with
Walking Dead cells.
I like yeah, exactly.
Walking Dead cells.
First thing that you noticed was you could
the
see
Walking
my
Dead
skin is
cells.
so soft.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just very smooth. That rough patch and it's gone now. I use that stuff. So I've been. Thank you for leaving it on the counter because I thought you stole it.
I started putting it out because
I was mad.
Can't find anything.
She was like, "This is mine." So how do we get it? Because it's good.
I need to put it eye level. It was on the counter. I put it on a box, and then he's like, "Hey." So in the third,
found it.
What were you? Oh, yesterday, bags. We need bags for the movie theater. And I said, they're right there. He's standing in the closet. And he goes, no, they're not. And I opened this other door. That's the same space. And he goes, I go, no.
This door was open. I was looking in here. I go, no, they're not. And she goes, click.
I know that they've been there since we moved in.
Bad. Don't make me use my old man finger.
Is it the same as I find little trash packets next to the trash?
Oh, that's his
next
thing.
To the trash.
No, I tried.
Gum wrappers?
It's like like the trash. Like we have
not anymore. I cleaned the shop. Not anymore.
He does his little. I told him it was like Pigpen, little piles. He's very cute, and he brings home nuts and bolts and race cars in his pockets. He really does. I'm not kidding. When I do laundry, I find wrappers for nut bags.
Let's finish this. Finish the commercial.
So I just want you guys to know, in a third-party 12-week clinical study, OS1 Face was clinically proven to strengthen skin barriers, significantly decrease visible signs of aging. Wrinkles diminished in 87% of users, firmness in 95.5%.
I need some of that.
Love that. Definitely notice.
I look too old.
And I love the way it makes my skin feel, and it doesn't have.
I look like I'm 70. I'm only 56.
And I have sensitive skin, and it does not irritate my
skin. Send me some of that.
For everyone
Somebody,
that wants to
please.
prevent or reverse the signs of aging with a groundbreaking approach. One Skin addresses
I need some beard dye too.
targeting the
Send me
root
some of that
causes of
too.
aging, so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. Time for you to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with promo code Titus at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code
Titus.
Titus.
I trimmed this back in May.
One body, one skin, and one you.
It helps with your marriage too.
Yeah, it's a good product.
Age healthy.
When you
It
have
was down about here, maybe. Yeah,
Oh my
I did.
God.
Wow.
Something like that.
Exercise.
But I trimmed it.
And then baseball bat.
I forget what it was, and it was the most brilliant pun yesterday, and I was
The hair
so
on my
proud of
face is
myself.
the only thing that's
And he
growing.
laughed, and then he goes, Ken would have
I
loved
said
that.
Ken would have vomited.
Because I had no hair on my head.
It was so good. It was right before another epic.
Okay, so we went and saw Oppenheimer last night, and as Ray said, so they filmed it. Chris Nolan did it.
In real time. They
I'm
wanted
proud of my
to
facial hair.
experience
It's the only thing I got left growing.
From 42 to 45. Yeah.
You have to sit there for 3 years. Like an hour in, he could tell I was getting antsy. I was like,
I thought, are you having a stroke? Are you having a spasm? What's going on? So I have to say this about the movie, and I thought about it today because, first of all, I want to look. I love Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino ruined movies for Rachel for the rest of the Hateful Eight,
and made me love movies with in the beginning with Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs.
Hateful Eight ruined it. She can't. It's like. I remember I was telling my daughter today about it because I was literally talking about this story because I saw about Oppenheimer, and we went to Oppenheimer, and so I go in the middle of Hateful Eight, we're at the Sherman ArcLight, it comes up intermission, and Tarantino always does this like it's intermission. He does like 70s, he goes 70s, and I hear. Are you fucking kidding me? I thought it was over. It out loud in the theater. Are you fucking kidding me?
How can you intermission at 3 hours? No, and then they released an extended cut. Like, because there was so much more to talk about in that one room.
A lot of unanswered questions. A lot of in the 3 hour
my pitch, because you guys know I love a good montage. Introduce Oppenheimer. Okay, little nutty, little brilliant. Doesn't fit in.
A lot of brilliant.
Tries to poison his teacher. Fine. Very interesting.
Also a man whore, too.
Meets girl. Okay. Then asked to do the bomb. Montage. Builds Los Alamos. Hires scientists. People. And
then add.
Bomb.
Right.
Then you see scientists putting the pieces around the bomb. We use a Richard Marx song
from the 80s.
Yep.
Right.
And then at the end, he comes running up the steps and fist pump. And then Hiroshima blows up. And the end.
So first of all, Christopher Nolan is a genius. Did he do Tenet too? He did Tenet too.
Yeah.
Tenet was the one where I was like, I tried to watch that movie 9 fucking times and I couldn't watch it. I asked her. I tried to watch it.
Yeah.
You love that movie?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It's the worst movie ever. It is so
I've never
bad.
seen him hate a movie, especially for
Inception.
Christopher. Love it.
Inception, one of the best movies ever
That's the one with the book, right?
As a matter of fact, I thought Tenet was one of those.
Oh no, wait! Inception is the one with the 9 layers, so that we had to try to explain to my mom.
But I understood it.
My mom slept through the middle. She slept through the middle part completely. She landed from Kuwait, awake for the beginning, woke up at the end, gets in the car and goes, well, that movie didn't make any sense. And we were like...
And I go, she goes, tell me what happened. I go, okay.
That was a brilliant movie, Mom.
And I start going down it, and I realize I get to the 4th level of dreaming.
Inception was a good movie.
I started, and you finally said, no, stop, just stop. But then he couldn't help himself, because I was going, because when the van went off the bridge, that's why in the next level of dreaming, they became weightless. And he goes, babe, just stop. And then within 5 seconds, he goes, Mom, okay, listen.
There's no way you can't explain it. You have to see Inception. Inception was great.
That was a great movie.
You know what Tenet felt like? Tenet, to me, felt like when a guy has a hit song,
never seen Tenet.
Until the record company sat him down and go, you need to do another one of those, and then they try.
Tenet,
Tenet
like Inception.
Yes, it felt like to me. Whereas Nolan Batman movies are some of the best Batman movies ever.
Which ones are those?
Dark Knight, the Dark Knight series.
Is the
Which
book?
one is that? Is that what's his name? Christian? What's his name?
Yes.
It's like Virgil.
He talks like this the whole time. That one?
Yeah,
the
that
voice
one.
is a bit. I mean, we could tone that down a little bit.
Speaking of that, Cillian Murphy, who plays Oppenheimer, they interviewed him and they asked him about the Batman movies because he auditioned for Batman, and they go, really? Because we saw skinny. He was like, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Apparently, we're done talking about.
It's pretty obvious that Christian Bale was going to get it. He goes, but he goes, I did get to put on the suit for the audition, and it was like they had to use, I guess, one of the old suits.
It's still funny
You
as
got to wear
fuck.
it. He goes, you can't help but change your voice. He goes, I don't. He goes, I talk like this.
He's not usually that skinny.
You put that thing on. It's like I'm Batman. You see,
what's his name? He's Christian Bale.
Yeah.
The movie right before that was The Machinist.
Yeah,
and how
he's like
real he was.
Pounds, yeah.
So just the fact that
Cillian Murphy was in Inception.
Yes,
I think he's in every Kristen.
Yes, he was.
He is.
He's in every Nolan movie.
Peaky Blinder. So I kept thinking last night, he doesn't usually look like this.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, you know him. You know him. Look, he's
Yeah, no, he was also in the Batman movie.
He's this guy.
Actually, I think I'd make a better super
He lost all that
villain.
weight for that movie
Villain.
to play that role.
Whatever.
He was really
Something like
He was
that.
So
Yeah.
can I say this? It was really.
Montage.
By the way, my favorite character in the movie, Matt Damon's character. Matt Damon's character played this general that came in, no bullshit, and the way he played it at the end, you realize.
Don't give it away.
Okay, well, no, but you just realized at one point that how the government works.
Don't give it away. It's history.
So
don't read anything about
here's
Oppenheimer.
Here's what I thought about the movie. It was brilliantly done. I was really interested why they didn't.
I like
I'm gonna have to watch that movie,
Great
Oppenheimer.
too, but they don't show what
I'll have
happened.
to-
And so it was weird.
I'll have to-
Without
Very
being
weird.
obvious
Pirate
about
it.
Nagasaki and
Arr! I'll have
they
to pirate
it was kind of
Oppenheimer.
an anti-bomb movie.
Like
really.
2/3 of the way into the movie, they decided to make it a thriller instead of a historical drama,
Yeah.
and then we switched gears where even you were turning to me going, wait, why? What? Why'd he do that? Robert Downey Jr. was in it, and he didn't even recognize him at first.
But Robert Downey Jr. is such a fucking
Yeah,
actor.
he's great.
Holy shit.
Everyone was.
Yeah, there
in
was
this.
nobody. Rami Malek shows
Rami
up out of
Malek.
nowhere and does like 2 scenes.
Al Pacino's in there for a second.
He's like, oh, that's a big explosion.
Whoa,
Hoo-ah, that's a bomb.
I had a choice
Oppenheimer.
between Oppenheimer and we need Jay Moore back. One of my favorite moments to date on this podcast was Jay Moore doing Al Pacino as a middle act. Remember, a traveling middle act.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say, but it wasn't great.
You said you had 2
It
choices.
meandered. Oh, I could have seen Mission Impossible. I skipped Barbie. My friends all went to that. I'm fine. But
Barbie. Okay, yeah.
unless
No, we skipped Barbie,
no, I
yeah.
looked that up. It's 2
Let's
hours
skip
and
Barbie.
53 minutes.
I agree with that.
And near the end of the year, or if you had a certain report, they would show a historical drama, and you had to write a report on it. They would show it a movie in class for like 2 or 3 days. That's what it felt like. If they had shown Oppenheimer in my high school, it said write a report on this because it's such a perfect historical. So Robert Downey Jr. plays this guy, this politician who kind of he was a self-made man who started this university, and I don't even know this guy. I have to look this guy up. What's his name again? I keep messing it up.
Strauss.
It's Tony Stark. That's what his name is.
I would have
He's
preferred
dark.
to spend time.
He played a kind of a guy, just a creepy. You didn't.
That's
like
what
the
I mean
guy.
by don't give it away, because they obviously they took some license with it.
Well, of course they do. They always do with movies
People
like that.
applauded at the end of the 3
They
hours.
They take a license with that. Yeah.
It was.
They're not in front of you, right?
By the way, it was a good movie, and it's not a movie I'd go see again. Whereas, and maybe this is just me being
You just don't
like
have time.
Top Gun Maverick, I'll watch that over and over again. There's movies, Training Day, I'll watch over and over again. Midnight Run.
Top
I'll
Gun
watch
I'd
Maverick.
be like,
Over and
wow, I
over
know a lot.
I'd watch
about
it
how
one
this
more
went
time.
down.
If you
That'd
haven't
be
seen
it.
Bridesmaids, you just need to watch
Bridesmaids.
I don't
Yeah,
really
there's
care for
movies.
Tom Cruise
I
that
like a
much,
movie
but
that you like. That movie.
I did
has-
like
this
the
reminds-
Maverick.
At one
Yeah.
point, I thought I'm being drugged through a history book.
It was awful.
It wasn't awful. It was quite good.
I mean, the length of time.
Well,
the
then
acting
apparently
was
you've never
great,
seen the
but
Tuskegee
montage,
Airmen
we
either,
could've
have
been
you?
In and out in an hour and 10. And that's me being loose.
Do you remember at the end? And I'm not going to give it away, but remember he gave that speech after the war ended and stuff, and as he was walking out, those people cheering. You got that. There was some really artistically cool shit in it that I think could have all been typed up.
Montage.
Yeah, there was some really cool shit. I'll keep this one away because it's not a prop point. So he
No,
goes.
don't give it
Fucking
away.
hair is driving me fucking nuts.
Play so you wait for
Don't
it.
tell anything. You can't.
It's in my
people
vision.
hate when you
It
spoil.
drives me
other
crazy.
I'm not
movies.
spoilering anything.
You've already told him that he bombs Hiroshima.
Babe, everybody
And
knows
Nagasaki.
that.
Don't forget
You
Nagasaki.
said, and you told him it ended World War II. Now nobody can go see that movie.
You
The
did.
acting was
Come on, that's
There
the
There was
ancient
not-
fucking
there was not
history.
a, actor.
We all know that we bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima,
I
right?
don't know why he bugged me, but he bugged me.
Yeah.
Because it was interesting.
Point
Interesting,
being, I got tricked again.
Basically, because
No,
if
so I said, what
we'd
you
have had
do,
to
do,
invade
sit
the
down,
Japanese
I go to my
homeland.
But we are officially old people because
Yeah,
I am allergic to
the casualties would have
I don't know why.
probably been greater than
I've
Vietnam.
never met somebody who has random allergies. Like
My
she's
mom
fine for
did.
a
Yeah.
while, and then all of a sudden,
So, yeah, the
hey,
bomb-
I've been eating grapes for 4
Bombing
years.
Hiroshima and
Yeah,
Nagasaki
yeah.
saved lives, boys
My eyebrow,
and
yeah.
girls.
So we That's why he was looking for
Kind of like a
bags,
necessary
because
evil,
we
I guess.
took in not a regular size bag of
They
Skinny
kind of
Pop,
opened Pandora's
Costco.
box, but no, it is what it is.
And we
He went backpacking.
ate the
So she had a-
whole thing.
She had a Marshall's bag and so
And
Although we could
I
have just,
took sparkling
you know,
water. We were old
we
people.
could have just bombed,
officially.
you know,
I
bombed
had my
Japan
favorite
into the dirt
snacks
with
that I get from
conventional
Trader
bombs.
You know what was weird?
Because at that time they were done. They just wouldn't surrender.
Quiet tasting.
We could have just
You know what's
leveled it,
weird?
leveled
This
the
is
whole
the
country.
Regal that's going out of all the Regals are going. They're in
We
trouble.
pretty much
Maybe
leveled
not in
Germany.
business. We walked in and not one person checked
their
our
tickets.
bags. Or there were no
How many
ticket checkers
people
anywhere. There were no.
yeah,
Usually there
have
used to be
seen the
hosts
fire
that would
bombing
say
of
during the
Hamburg?
movie about nobody helping you find your seat. No ushers.
Yeah.
No one blipping your. She had her
Nothing.
ticket on her phone. She was
Hamburg,
like,
Germany basically got
Only
burned to the
like-
ground because we
like
firebombed it.
It was packed though.
It was
fucking
packed. 3
Yeah.
total people behind the concession thing, and that was the valet in the parking garage.
God.
It's a place, in Sherman Oaks where you have to, for the movies, you have to park.
It's all
in this
part of
parking
U.S.
garage.
history.
Used to be a whole team.
U.S. history
Asian guys
101.
that would run this valet team, and they were awesome. Nobody there. Valet parking signs still there, but not one person.
She goes, what has happened that no one has these jobs anymore? And I think,
Well, I said digital content.
She says everybody's got a TikTok.
All
and
that
they make
valet
it. Like,
team
that's
has a
not it.
TikTok.
I don't-
Who has a TikTok?
The valet team.
Oh,
They
yeah.
left and they've got a TikTok. And they're getting
They're all
views.
making millions. You said something about we were talking about all our content. Go to Christopher Titus TV. There's 9 comedy specials since they're on strike. There's 9 comedy specials there, and there's a ton of content.
Oh, can I tell you guys this?
You can watch all of his stand-ups on YouTube,
We shot the second episode
which
of
is
Not Long
cool.
Dead
I've watched them
yesterday,
all.
and it was everything I wanted this podcast to be. The guest is awesome. It was so, didn't you think, informative and
Yep.
interesting and deep and
This-
funny?
it-
It was like,
I love this
I just
podcast.
thought yesterday was
It
fascinating.
always makes me laugh.
Well, you've been
Except for
put on a
times when
timeline.
it
He
makes me
actually
want
put
to
something in
go.
his calendar for
What
you.
the fuck?
So he
You
said,
know,
I
like-
will be calling
Like
you
now,
July
when they were
25th
talking about
next year.
DeSantis and
And you
Trump
get
and
with this
and
guy that he means
the
it.
Republicans.
So, yeah, anyway, so that's going to be
Kinda
out
makes me
August
wanna
4th,
walk
first
to
Friday of
Canada.
every month. You can go
And get the
subscribe
fuck out
to Knock 'em
while
Dead
I still
podcast
can.
on YouTube, and also Rachel Bradley on YouTube.
Because you
is
know
gonna
if
start
Trump
posting-
fucking gets
we're gonna
convicted,
start posting stuff.
all them Trump
As soon
sheep
as I
are
heard
gonna
he was
take
from
up
New
their
Jersey.
AR-15s and
This one's going to be good.
start shooting shit up. So
Exactly.
He's a doula, so
Yeah.
this new episode is going to be about.
y'all may
death
want to leave the
doulas,
country
which most
now.
people don't know what those are, and it's really
I might.
fascinating.
A midwife for death.
I might go visit
I
Cat.
just started giving it.
Well, no.
I'm coming, Cat.
So I only talked to the guy for an hour. You're right. It's over.
I will come visit you.
We bombed.
You can hide me in the woods somewhere.
Why? Why?
No.
Anyway, so is Oppenheimer worth going to see? Let me my quick Titus review. Let me tell you, Oppenheimer is a movie that if you love Christopher Nolan, you should go see it. Christopher Nolan has such a track record that you can go see it. It's a
No,
great
if you love
movie.
U.S. history with
Top-notch.
a Hollywood twist to
Some
it,
food,
Could I?
or
It's something
use
to
it as
watch.
a fasting.
I have a
I
recommendation.
mean,
Wait until it comes out. Streaming.
no,
And then
just
once he agrees
go on the internet
to go
now
to
and pirate that
Los
shit.
Alamos and build the bomb.
Fast forward.
Hit
Yeah.
fast forward, but hit it 3 times so that
I had
it
someone
montages
arguing with
it
me
for
the other
you,
day
play a
that
song on your phone,
Oppenheimer
and then you'll see
Oppenheimer weren't the guy that made the bomb.
uranium and plutonium instead of
You need to watch
every
this
30 minutes
podcast.
throwing marbles
Yeah.
in it to show how much they
Oppenheimer
have.
did.
You'll see them.
He was the
rising.
guy behind the whole thing.
Who's giving shit away? You just told them how they got all the.
He had
I
help,
didn't
but
tell him how
he
they
was
got
the
it.
one that
Just
got all
told
the
them
people
that.
together
I
to
didn't
do
tell him
it.
how they got it. I told you how they measured
You
it.
just told them beats of the movie.
You already told them they bombed Hiroshima.
Oh my god.
So
It's
fast forward,
U.S.
play a
history,
song.
people. We all know we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Pick up, Stop
Or-
fast forwarding once you see the explosion.
Or if you're a thinker, just watch the movie.
If you're a thinker, you don't have time to watch this movie, and that's my problem.
Oh,
3
I'm a thinker.
hours is too long.
Bullshit.
To expect me
Is it
to
3
not
hours?
do anything.
3 hours
to
ain't
get
long
over
enough.
3 hours and 1 minute. I looked it up.
Oh my God!
Mission Impossible is 2 hours and 43 minutes.
When did this happen? I was talking to my daughter. Agrees. My
It
daughter
used to be 120
She's a different.
top.
She's a different genre, a different age group, different generation, and she's like 3 hours. And so if
That's right. Your
everybody
podcast used to be 20
from
minutes.
us to her goes 3 hours.
Yeah.
Movies were 2
No,
hours.
it's-
Barbie,
No, it's 140
Barbie is 1 hour and 54
minutes.
minutes, not 154. 1 hour 54. That's better. Still a little long for a Barbie movie. I wanted to see how
You want
long.
to see
Yeah.
That's the exact right link?
Oh, wait,
Go
let's check
to
this out.
Amazon Prime and watch special units. It's an
One,
hour.
1 hour and
I
27
think
minutes
an hour
is a little
20
long for a
perfect.
podcast,
Hour
don't you
30
think,
if you have
Titus?
a lot of good-looking guys.
Don't talk about how long movies
I
are.
would like that. He's cute. I like that.
Thank you. That's what she would always say.
Deep fake with Gavin Newsom onto all the.
I don't know.
No?
I like Titus. That's
You
all.
like Gavin
Instead
I
of
like Gavin Newsom.
Tom Cruise, it's Gavin Newsom.
Tom Cruise. He's short.
Fuck Tom
Really
Cruise.
short. He's like 5'6" or something. 5'5".
But he's really, I tell you what, I say it again, give me a bad Tom Cruise movie. People say Cocktail. I'm like, nope. He learned how to flip those things. Cocktail.
That movie became iconic too.
Yeah, that
for a
Cocktail-
long
No,
time.
Cocktail was a good movie.
Magnolia. I go, not a Tom Cruise movie.
Top
Just-
Gun
you
and
give me a
Top
full-on
Gun
Tom Cruise
Maverick.
movie that sucks.
Those are
But tell me
good.
one. Tell me one. Whatever you think about him
But, you
personally,
know,
the man, the
the rest
motherfucker
of it-
knows how to make a movie. Like where you're like, what's up, Jack Reacher? Even the second one.
No, I like Jack
Jack
Reacher,
Reacher.
but
6'5".
There's two of them.
Jack
Thank
Reacher in the
you.
book is a black
Oh,
guy.
that guy. That's a good-looking guy.
That's right.
The Reacher. The Amazon
Reacher
show.
in the
You
book
guys
is a
haven't
black
watched that.
guy.
You have to go watch that. It was
Oh.
so good.
Go figure that one,
And
right?
the
They
new
put Tom
season's
Cruise
coming
in
out,
there.
and they actually made him look like he was written. Tom Clancy wrote him saying he was massive. All descriptions of Reacher in the books, he was noticeably huge, and it caused certain things to happen in the scenes. And then they put Tom Cruise in the movies.
Well, but here's what I'm saying. Tom Cruise pulls it off. There's that
With
opening,
apple boxes.
That opening scene does
No.
it, and ditches for.
No, sorry,
But-
I
people.
said Tom
I
Clancy.
have to
as a child.
disagree
I'm
with
sitting here
that.
going, it's
But
not
here's
Tom
the thing about
Clancy.
Tom Cruise.
The
For
Reacher
whatever
movies,
reason,
Jack
the
Ryan
interviews
is
and
also-
maybe
stuff,
all
he
right,
loves movies, and he's
but the
loved
books
movies.
are like 100 times
Talks
better.
about how much he loved movies. Like he sees
Yeah.
2 movies a day. He'll go home and watch 2 movies.
Who does?
Tom Cruise.
I've read them
Every
all
day? Now?
That's what he said.
to date.
And so that's how much he loves movies. And as much as he's into it, I still haven't. I'll go see it. I don't. Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington.
Denzel. I like Denzel, yeah, I
2
do.
people. Tom Hanks. 3
Hank,
people.
oh.
There are
Yeah.
certain people that just because that dude's in it, I'm gonna go see the
Yeah,
movie.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Because they've earned this discerning taste of what they're
Yeah, what
in.
they can choose to do.
Brad Pitt, I'll go see. Is something. Who else?
George
Emily
Clooney.
Blunt.
Emily
I'll
Blunt,
go
great.
see. Who's Jessica Chastain? She's
Love
done some
her.
great stuff.
Love her.
Whereas certain actors are in it.
Your husbands?
You know who's fall off? You know who's fall off?
Oh, yeah. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Although I
I
found
don't
that
think
some
they can
movies,
see Ryan.
No?
even though they got top-notch actors in them,
Hey, if you're a roofing or contractor,
Suck.
you do not need another lead gen company to try to help you. You need systems and processes in place for you to be able to make more money long term in your business.
right.
There's generally a handful of tweaks that you need that are going to be able to grow your business. Now, what we do is we mentor.
I think when I've looked before, you can see me with Idris, but you can't see him with Ryan.
I don't think Idris has earned it yet.
No.
No, Beast. Did you see
Ryan,
the
I
last
think-
Ryan movie? Nope.
What was it?
Exactly.
I think Ryan Reynolds is on the cusp of that just because he's in it, but he's done a lot of he's done like Ryan Reynolds has done stuff like that Sandra Bullock romantic thing.
Yeah,
He's done some
yeah.
stuff that I was like,
He was.
he's great. By the way, I'll go now Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
I'll go see. Not even
Me
question.
too. Me too.
There's certain things that he's in. I will go see.
See that?
But Free
I went,
Guy was great.
I
Free Guy
went
was really
and
good.
saw Deadpool. Yeah, Free Guy was good. Deadpool was.
Now, if you enjoyed this video,
Deadpool 2 was
and you want me to
2
do
hours.
more reaction
Okay.
videos, let me know.
Because he cares. I think he
I can
cares.
do more.
Yeah,
I
Deadpool
can
2
find a whole bunch of videos to do reactions
like a
on.
typical 3-act story into about 2
Yeah,
hours. Like we've
exactly.
established that as a human being, as an experience.
There
But-
was a couple storylines in Oppenheimer that I was like.
I thought I'd do this one because it had
This could have been
it had
solved
Trump in
with
it,
2 lines from one character saying
and I can't stand Trump.
the whole thing with the girl, the weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. It was like
Because they never brought that back around. It didn't
never
matter.
brought it. Well, it was part of.
Trump
the reason
needs to
that
imitate
they had
Hoffa.
the hearing thing, but at one point, even that.
He needs to go. He needs to go like Jimmy Hoffa did. He needs to
even
just like
that was such
disappear
a
off the face of
little
the planet.
piece of it. That was like I was like,
Yeah.
you could have taken 3 storylines, and I think what happens. Because, did you like Interstellar?
Yeah.
And this is the people that
That's the
made
one
Jimmy
with the
Hoffa
book, right?
disappear.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Please make Trump go the same way.
What is happening with me?
But Interstellar
You know,
was
I don't know
cool.
where
It's a great- it's
Hoffa
followable.
ended up,
There's a lot of
but
action in it. It's really
there was
fun to
rumors
watch.
to that
It's really
effect,
smart. It's
but,
great. I really love that movie. You hated that
yeah.
movie too, though.
If you're still around,
I didn't
yeah.
hate it, but I thought it was too long.
Right.
But did I walk out?
Repeat the Hoffa experience for
No,
Trump.
you bitched about the time.
The book?
Yeah.
Montage the book, you know? I'm telling you guys, I could solve all of movies' problems with a little montage.
With a montage! Gotta have a montage! Thank
Now
you,
that
South
I've
Park.
seen Rocky, I know the value of a montage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was a weird week, man. We had the middle of COVID.
Trump needs to be
videos,
taken on a
every
fishing
Rocky
trip
movie
and
ever
fed to a
made,
chipper.
The ones they had already. And
Yep.
she got sucked in like I've never. She's like, "What is this? I've been hearing about the." I said, "How have you never?"
I was
seen
painting.
You take
And
a
I was
chipper and
stuck
load
in
it
the
on the
living
boat,
room.
right?
Before
Cover
that,
it
you
with
never saw
tarp.
I was like, "How are you not?"
No,
seen
And then you bring Trump out there taking fishing.
Rocky, or what's the other one that everyone
Once you get
thinks
out in
have to see?
international waters where the water's deep
On the
enough,
road, yeah,
You watched
Godfather.
all those too.
Yeah,
And then we got
unwrap
Creed.
the
Did I?
chipper.
Oh God.
put a
First
bullet in
one,
his head,
Yeah.
De Niro.
and
you like
feed him into the
I didn't
chipper.
think 2.
And I kept saying,
And you feed the fish.
I forget. Is it 3 where they're a lot older?
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that was super.
You still
good.
catch any
3,
fish.
the one
where
with his daughter.
Where his
You
daughter was going, I'm Sicilian.
You bringing
I'm gonna
home
be Sicilian
evidence.
for the rest of my life, because
That
my
was
dad came from the oil country, and
awful.
you know what? We are a mob family,
Yes.
and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Okay.
She's
So
a
1
talented
and 2
director,
were
so-
good. 1 and 2 were good. Hooah. Was that a different
No,
movie?
that's
a
oh my
blind
God,
movie.
That's where he's
Okay.
the blind
Oh, was
guy.
that
Who are?
Oh,
That reminds me
what
of
was that called?
G.I. Jane.
That's
That
That's
was a good
right.
movie.
That was Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
No,
Right?
No!
no.
God damn it!
Suck my dick, Master Chief.
No, Tom Cruise was with Dustin Hoffman
Rain
in a
Man.
similar
Rain
movie.
Man.
That's not a
Yes.
similar
Oh,
movie.
Brain Man. Okay. Yeah.
Issues, but
Leading man
Because someone
with
has an
disabled.
ailment?
I was going to say, they got issues. They're not the
Leading
same.
man, disabled man, like twins. Twins, Scent of a Woman, and
Twins is Schwarzenegger and Danny
Scent-
And it's a
DeVito.
full-out, balls-out comedy. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's all the same. What are they called?
Yeah.
Scent of a Woman.
You're like the Buster Keaton.
Speaking of Danny DeVito,
What's the other one? Hooah.
I met him at a
What's
fish
that?
concert back in
What's the,
because he
what's the
can't
one
see.
called with Dustin Hoffman?
2005, 2004, up in Vermont.
Dustin Hoffman, which one was that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of Fish's.
Okay, and
That's
twins.
Dustin Hoffman.
They're supposed to be one of their.
I stand
It's supposed to be their last
What?
concert.
Twins,
You know
Rain
nothing
Man,
about movies?
Didn't happen.
Stand
They
behind
kept
it
on
as a
going.
house falls on you.
Twins,
It was just-
Rain Man, and Scent
It
of a
was
Woman.
just a gimmick to attract people to it.
No.
But
It
okay.
wasn't Tom Cruise with him
Oh my
in
God. I
Hooah.
can't even
Who
do
was it?
And who? The movie's not called Hooah.
Who was it?
Christopher.
I don't know why they are giving
Oh.
this much out, but every American family
Alright.
needs to see
All
this.
right. Well, I'm gonna
The
let the fucking
government is
ad play.
basically
Screw
giving me
it.
$1,270.
Skip it. There you go.
Who was it?
Christopher.
Saved me a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of troubles.
The actor that played Christopher.
Oh, look, see?
No.
It's not just me.
Scent of a Woman, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Chris.
Christopher Walken.
No.
Kristen.
Christopher Walken. Yeah. Okay. Can you imagine him in Son of a
Oh,
Woman?
Chris
Yeah. Okay.
O'Donnell. Chris
You're
O'Donnell.
blind and you can't drive the car, but you want to drive.
He got really puffy.
That's good.
That might be why. I haven't seen him in anything.
Stop with
You're
the
right.
hooah.
Yeah,
He
Christopher
does-
Walken
he
ain't
was
done a
in it.
movie in
Chris O'Donnell.
ages.
He's very puffy now.
Chris O'Donnell?
Yeah, he's.
Well, that's
Wow,
after,
that
speaking of
doesn't look
Batman, that's after
Maybe
that
Christopher
Batman
Walken
movie
died. I don't
George
know.
Clooney did, which was terrible. Yeah. That's
Oh, he's
that
kind of
bad.
yeah, he is
you know
kind of
what?
puffy, ain't
I
he?
blame that entire Batman movie on the nipples in the batsuit. It
Terrible,
was such a
yeah.
The nipples in the bat suit. Yeah.
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey was great
He's
as
great.
Riddler. Yeah, I thought he was great as Riddler.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was also in
Jim
that one.
Carrey, again, I would say this: name a bad Jim Carrey movie. Even 23. Name a bad.
Even when he on purpose tries to make a bad movie, like Ace Ventura, like that could have been a horrible movie. Anybody else that did that movie would have been terrible.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he made it like, okay, this is like a
well,
this is
you know what I
classical
think
classic.
he did? He totally stepped in. Right. Someone else would have played that movie dead serious. Pet Detective.
Yeah.
He made it so fucking insane that
He did,
It's
yeah.
still a funny movie.
Same as The Mask too.
Hmm.
Similar
Who's
kind of.
also
Funny.
good
Yeah,
at
that was fun.
Who's also good at walking this line.
Jim Carrey is funny as fuck.
Ability to a point where you're like, I'm in. Is Adam Sandler fucking?
Yeah.
Again, I would.
Adam Sandler,
bad
he
Adam
goes
Sandler.
too.
That's
Well,
maybe,
no,
you know,
except
we might not want to
here's
put
the thing,
that question
Adam
on the
Sandler's
table.
so good. Like the characters he takes on. Like I remember when I watched the first. It's what we tell you today about Harlan. Adam Sandler steps into a character like the Water Boy, and you're like, for the first 2
The
minutes,
Water
you're
Boy.
like, and
Yeah.
then you're speaking his language, and then you're in. Yeah, the only time Adam Sandler movies miss for me is when he tries to be real serious.
Yep.
When he
What
takes-
about Hidden Gems?
A serious movie for yeah, don't worry.
It's not my favorite Adam Sandler movie. He's great. He's a great actor. There's another one he did where he played.
See, that's what happens with actors like that.
Punch Drunk Love.
Is that yeah? That one's really.
They
good.
get
Yeah.
tied
Adam
up
Sandler's
in
great actor, 'cause
in
not
the
a lot of
first
great
movies they
actors do
did,
the comedy he can do. So that's
and then when they try to do something
I've heard
else,
he's a nice guy.
they usually can't pull it off.
he's very. I don't know him, but I mean, what
That's
I
what I
gather,
was saying.
he's a very very nice man.
It's a very rare
And
actor
he's
that can
funny, and I think he's
switch.
been, you know, when the critics thrashed him in every movie he did, from The Wedding Singer, and he just said, "I'll never do another fucking interview again." He didn't give a shit, and it's so funny how
Yeah.
he was right. He was
Yeah,
absolutely.
and he didn't need
fucking
to.
right. You know, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, the one where he plays the Middle Eastern guy.
The Zohan.
Oh my god,
Zohan, yeah.
Makes me fucking laugh so hard. It's such an insane.
And he used real. There's a lot of Krav Maga guys in there that we.
Oh really?
Yes.
You work with? Oh, it's very funny. They turned.
Zohan, yeah,
He was playing.
I remember that.
A
Yeah.
Mossad agent.
He's standing in front of this guy, and he goes, the guy's talking shit, and he's like, I'm going to kick you in the face right now. And he goes, you're gonna what? And all of a sudden this foot just
Yeah, the visual joke.
and he doesn't move at all.
Yeah,
He doesn't move at all.
It's very airplane.
And he goes, what? He goes, do it again. And he puts his freaking toes up the guy's nose. And the guy's like, it's the dumbest shit. And it makes me laugh. And then when she was from driving
Yeah.
to the phone, and he goes, going to the business.
If you've never
And then he
seen
just starts going to the
Zohan,
business. Made me
I
laugh.
suggest watching it.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying, give me a bad Adam Sandler movie. They're rare. There's certain people that are out there that they're just. And I would say Robin Williams didn't. Sometimes Robin Williams didn't have the consistency, as brilliant as Robin was, of films like Sandler does. For whatever reason.
Yeah,
Sandler.
Good Will Hunting. Fucking, that was horrible. Have
Oh,
you seen
shut
that?
it.
Good Will
Great.
Hunting, yeah.
I'm saying his comedy movies. He did that one with Walter Matthau, and he did. I think he's brilliant. I think Robin was my favorite. He's one of my heroes, but he didn't. I don't know.
Oh, Fisher King. That was-
Fisher King's still my top 5 forever.
I mean,
Forever. But
that
I'm
was
saying,
crazy.
Cause I can name a bad Robin.
You know what you get now though is that he was playing what was inside of him, right? Like
I don't
the
know
things
if
that
I've
we know
ever.
about
Yeah.
that he struggled with.
I don't remember Fisher
There are
King,
some
people.
heartbreaking.
I gotta
moments
sit
in
Jet
that.
down and make it.
How we gonna do? How we gonna solve that
You haven't
problem?
seen Fisher King? The Fisher King whole.
We were talking to his kids.
We
They
may
were
have
over
to.
on
We
Sunday,
may have to hang out with
he
Fisher
was
King.
asking
I'm gonna
Jed
have
if he
to.
had seen Seven, and
I'm
Jed
gonna have
said
to try to
no.
pirate
and we're
that
like,
shit.
What? We made my niece watch it New Year's Eve, and then he said, "But I've seen Fight Club."
Oh.
We're talking about Brad Pitt movies, and I said, "Have you seen Snatch?" And he said, "No, but I'll put it in my phone because I've been wanting to watch old movies lately."
And I flipped the table. Motherfucker! I stood up, flipped the table.
Old movies, and
old
I
movies
said,
used to be
"Wow, like
Citizen Kane."
Alfred Hitchcock."
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he doesn't even know who Alfred Hitchcock is, and he goes, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I do because it was in an episode of Psych." I'm like, oh god.
Okay.
By the way, we
Don't
added
know
a
who
second show
Alfred
in Des Moines
Hitchcock
this Friday,
is.
the 28th, and
Okay.
added a show KC the 29th.
For
First
anyone
shows are
that
both
don't know
sold
who
out. You
Alfred
can still
Hitchcock
come
was,
to the Late Show in Des Moines, Friday the
Google
28th,
that
and the
shit.
Late Show in Kansas City on Saturday the 29th.
Oh yeah.
And then you can go to Cleveland, Hilarities, August 11th and 12th. Detroit, Comedy Castle, that Sunday, the 13th. And then that very next weekend, the Stardome, Birmingham.
when they
Huntsville,
start doing
Stand Up
their,
Live. The very next weekend, Blue
When they
Room
start
in
doing their ads
Springfield.
for
So
the
there's a bunch
stand-up
of stuff
shows,
coming
they're
up.
almost to the end.
Atlanta, Center Stage Theater is on sale. Louisville, Baumhard. Knoxville Bijou.
It's the.
And then we come to Highlanders Fun Facts.
Guys, I almost got evicted.
After the ad.
But I just signed up for a $1,400 health allowance,
Really?
which pays for my rent.
Which pays for your rent. Yeah, okay. Them ads are put there so people can steal your information and rob you.
Lexington's on sale. Oh, we're doing a show in
Because that ain't real.
Lafayette, Louisiana, and Dallas and Houston.
And if it's
Dallas and
real,
Houston are on sale.
you all can send me some money
Oh, we added a show
from
in New
that
Orleans too.
program without me signing up
My
for it.
daddy was tough on me.
Because you ain't getting my
That's
information.
not how they talk there.
I
Not for
know.
bullshit
New
like
Orleans is
that.
gonna be right before
No.
Lafayette, then Dallas, then Houston.
I watched,
The whole southern
G-
shebang.
I've been watching them ads now for months, and they've all been ending in a couple days, and yet
No, that's she's from no.
the ads go on forever.
NAW.
That's NH. NAH.
It's ending.
Not in the
Get your
South.
shit before it ends. It's ending now. It's ending in a couple days.
Here's words
Get
that don't
your
exist.
stuff
We
now.
always
Get
say
your
that.
money now. It's ending. It's ending.
Just go
2
to
months
New
later,
Orleans and
same
don't
shit.
listen
It's
to
ending. Get it
anyone else,
now.
is it? Yeah, those are some like.
Guys,
shows
we have a lot of
coming
dates coming up. I want you to come see Ray's show too. It's like I've been doing this a long time. People know what I can do. But boy, this new show you have, I watch you and
I can't believe YouTube actually lets them ads fucking play. It's all fake bullshit.
But you do take these.
All that is information
It usually
fishing.
takes 3 minutes.
They want your information
I'm sitting in the green room.
so they can drain your goddamn bank account dry.
One sentence, 2 sentences. Big monster laugh, and it gets me out.
I don't have a bank account, so I might just try that
Just
once.
happened. And you're just doing your comedy. That's amazing.
I'll make a Gmail for it.
I'm just proud
Oh
of
wait, I got 40 already. I don't need to make one.
Lovely to see
really
this.
weird. She's really.
Oh.
No, I was taking it. I was
Did we only
looking
just
at
have
you
the
and
one
saying thank you.
I just wanted it. I mean, the one compliment. That's all you're getting.
Yes, we just had the one compliment.
There you
This
go.
podcast.
Oh yeah, 4 more minutes.
No, that's it.
Almost time for Highlanders Fun
It's time
Facts.
for Highlanders
Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts.
Highlanders
Fun Facts.
Okay.
It was the last note.
Please cut to her eye twitch at the end of me hitting that note. Or no, sorry, missing that note.
Speaking of celebrities.
I don't know if we were.
I really love this. I love speaking of. Speaking of. I never stop that.
When Lady Gaga went to NYU, a group of students started a Facebook group. Facebook is an old social media platform.
Got it.
Back in the day.
Okay.
About how she would never be famous. Guess the joke is really on them now, huh?
Wow.
Wait, they went out of the way to write a troll dickhead she sucks counting? That's wow.
People that were in college with her?
Yes, at NYU.
Wow.
Wait, who would say, you'll never be famous?
Yeah,
And let me
somebody's
write
jailed.
that down. And let me
And
write
make a
that
group
down.
out of that.
Yeah, get other people
Yeah,
to
yeah.
join them.
Lady gag me.
I say this. I made a joke
Yeah.
about Lady Gaga. I didn't get it at the beginning.
Lady
I didn't realize
Gag
who
Me.
She was. I thought her first couple hits.
Titus, it's not Lady Gaga, it's Lady Gag Me.
Yeah, but
Poker
then
face.
poker face. I made fun of that. I made fun of, and she turned out to be such a fucking talented human being and
Insane.
such a nice human being. And the
No.
joke, it's a good joke.
No.
It's a good joke, but
She's Lady Gag Me.
David Bowie is proof.
No.
Lady Gaga is proof that David Bowie raped Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
It's a good joke, but it's the only joke I've ever got. She's such a great person. Guys, I want to say something. Do me a favor. Take a minute.
That was funny.
Look, the edge of the country. It's like
Lady Gaga is the only proof that David Bowie raped fucking Carol Burnett. Okay, I believe
Do
that.
some research on your own. Don't just buy with the bullshit, because the people that are telling you the bullshit, if you believe them, you're making them money. They're not making you money, and the Republican Party has never made you money, even though you vote for them.
Really?
Unless you're a billionaire or a millionaire, you've never made money.
Wouldn't we be included in that?
We-
Don't listen to us. It makes us money at COVID.
No. We actually, I look at every.
The numbers are spiking. The COVID numbers are coming up.
Are they?
Well,
Is that real?
Sir.
Are the
What?
COVID numbers coming up?
Oh my God.
So anyway, do some research, people. Do me a favor. Ask yourself, what have these people done for me? And then type that into your computer. Don't ask for me to give you cited articles. Type it in your computer. What have the Republicans
done for
done
me lately?
for you as Americans?
Dun.
You're going to be surprised.
Not a whole lot, that's for
I
sure.
vote for only the people that help me currently right now.
Republicans suck.
Are the people I'm voting for. And the other people I've done a lot of research to, going back to Eisenhower.
Republicans only looking out for number uno.
So there you go. That's how I feel about it. That's all I'm saying. That's my final word.
That's my final
Speaking
word
of-
too.
Wrapping up the
Republicans
show.
suck.
Speaking of rap, go to thewillingbureau.com. That's the name of the group.
Oh,
The Willing
rap.
Bureau, not the Traveling Wilburys, okay?
Also, guys, go to ChristopherTitus.com. We have T-shirts, this, that. There's new posters coming out. We're going to be on the road.
No,
We'll be doing a
sorry,
big,
I can't afford that
Ray
shit.
will, and,
But Titus, you
and
can
I
mail
will,
me some for free if you want.
T-shirts coming out.
When are they coming out?
Caramel.
That's exciting.
Ordering. Well,
Yeah.
Gotta
color thing.
go through the designs.
Yeah,
Considering
but-
I don't have an
The
income,
piece of artwork that's on the new T-shirt, guys, is stunning.
Yeah.
I caretake
And her work.
Tales of a Ragged
the
Dog.
lawn and other shit for
I'm so blessed
food
that we have this artist in our life.
and
Thanks for
wine.
listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell.
Money?
A hole
No.
in my head where they're
Don't
staring
see no
that
money,
I won't wrap
but-
this up.
As you can see, I have a roof over my head, but no money.
For myself, the Bombshell Ray
But
and the
anyway.
Highlander. Later.
That's me. Later.
Pick up anyone.
There can be only one. Goodbye.
Did you know that as you're watching
All right.
this, you're eligible to receive a 1,000